everybody. Hi from the Way Cool Cooking School. It's Chef Mary here. And we are super excited to bring you our State Fair Foods Kit this week. If you got one, cook along, have some fun. I'm gonna show you guys today how and some helpful tips when you are making your mini donuts. One of my favorite treats at the State Fair is the mini donuts, and especially watching the little mini donuts go through the little machine. And just because we can't get to the State Fair this year does not mean that we can't have fun making State Fair foods this year. And so I was so excited, I just couldn't wait. And I jumped right in and I did like the first 2 steps of this recipe. So I'm gonna walk you through really quickly. And so we've got a big bowl of 2.5 cups of flour here, half a teaspoon of salt that I've sprinkled around the edge, just because salt doesn't really hang out with yeast too well, and so I'm gonna make sure that it's incorporated for the flavor, but doesn't do anything to prevent the yeast from growing and bubbling up as we make our donuts. The other thing I've got is I've dug a well and I put a lot of our wet ingredients inside the well already, including our warm milk that I warmed up in the microwave for about a minute. And then I've also got some shortening in there that came with your kit. And with the shortening, I just kind of added it in about a teaspoon at a time, just kind of flicked it in so that it would evenly distribute throughout the wet mixture. There's a little bit of water in there, and we use that with our 1 packet of yeast. And we allowed that yeast to bloom and the warm 2 tablespoons of water, and then we added it to the inside of this well. All right, well, you're caught up. You're exactly where I am now. We've got a well full of wet ingredients. And next step is we have to add this egg. And so we're gonna take and we're gonna crack the egg right on the side of the bowl here. Now, if you're new to cracking eggs or just are a little hesitant, like what if we get a shell in it? You can always crack the egg in a separate bowl and then add it into the egg too. We're gonna do it really carefully here. And we're gonna add this egg into the center of our well so that we can have that incorporated into our egg mixture for our dough for our mini donuts. Now, this is a yeast dough, and so the yeast is actually gonna cause the donuts to rise as the dough sits there. But we're also gonna fry this dough. So it's not a baked donut, it is a fried donut. In your kit, for your State Fair kit, you received a package of flour that's gonna be used for multiple different recipes. So if this is the first recipe you wanted to try, just like it was the first recipe I wanted to try this week, make sure that you measure out just what you need and then save the rest of your flour for your cookies, your Sweet Martha copycat cookies later on. As you can see, I'm starting to just stir, and I'm stirring in the middle here to incorporate all of those ingredients, and then I'm slowly working around the bowl to get all of the flour mixed into the center, and it's gonna create a wet, sticky donut dough. Donut doughs are typically, fried donut doughs are typically what I would consider like a soft, sticky dough. And so they're not gonna be able to like knead them like you would knead, let's say, pizza dough. So we've got that in there. I'm gonna continue to stir this up, and then I'm gonna come back after it's risen a little bit, and we are gonna show you guys how to cut out the donuts and how to fry the donuts next. So stay tuned for part 2, and we'll show you how to fry those donuts.